I'll share some kind of what happened and then what the process is, and then also things that I did and would have done differently in the future. Hopefully we.
Yes, that is Jessica atop our mast 1 month after we got it up because we missed one thing: nylock nuts on the wind reading instrument.
Mast's not ready. Mast is on the trailer.
So, Jessica, we bought our boat in San Diego and then put it on a truck to get it up here. And in the process, we kind of redid the mast. What do we call that?
I'd say refit, repainted,
Refit,
re-rigged. So the coolest thing about this whole endeavor was a lot of work, a lot of frustration, a lot of dirt, a lot of all the things. The best part about it, the best surprise, was when we took the mast off. I've got a photo of where it's stepped. It's a deck step mast, so there's basically a little plate you'll see in the picture here that has the hole where all the cabling goes through, and through that hole there's a round, I don't know what you call it. Actually, it was a piece of exhaust hose is what it was, although not really, smaller than that, but which had completely disintegrated. But all the years of dirt and sand and all the whatever junk that has blown into the mast or chafing or whatever piled up into a big layer of dirt in there. So here I'm kind of scraping out some of the dirt, and I get down, and turns out they had placed, when they had stepped the mast, a 1922 Silver Eagle silver dollar. So for those who are familiar, one of the things that is considered good luck when you step your mast for the first time is to put a coin of some kind under the mast. So that's good luck. So that was super cool to find that. So what we did, took it, saved it, obviously, so it wouldn't get lost. And then when we went to put the mast back up, we glued the silver dollar back in and then added our own from 2024 as well. So there's two of them under there now, which is really, that was the best part for me. I thought that was super cool. It was like a little archaeology dig. So. Well, it's winter. Actually, it's fall. It's not quite winter yet. But it's a few days after Thanksgiving. And as you can tell, I'm not wearing t-shirt and shorts any longer. It is officially cold. It's about 45 degrees. It is not raining, which is fantastic, but it's been very rainy this fall. So being that we're not doing much sailing right now, we thought we'd talk about the procedure and process we went through to get the mast refit, painted, and all that stuff when we brought the boat up from San Diego. So hopefully you enjoy some of the commentary and let us know what you think. If you've done something different in your travels when you've worked on masts, let us know, because we don't know what we don't know, and we learned a few things as we went. So bought the boat in San Diego, had to take the mast down to put it on a truck. Our rigger was very helpful. He did taught me a lot of things on kind of what to look for and when the mast was actually down. One thing I learned before a mast comes down that I should have done is to document and take pictures and draw a diagram or whatever to showing where different lines are run. So on our boat, it's all of our lines are run to the cockpit, which is great. But at the same time, there are a lot of blocks and deck organizers and different things that don't. When they're empty, it's hard to know what goes back in them unless you have it documented. So I recommend that, taking pictures there. And then put it on the truck, brought it home, and we decided we would, just based on the condition of the mast, and you'll see in some of the pictures in the videos here that are going to be added in, there's corrosion on the mast, aluminum mast. It's painted with dissimilar metals, so a lot of stuff that is fastened on with stainless hardware. So that is just over time it happens. So we decided to replace a lot of things, which included various blocks and lines, and just taking the whole thing apart to even take it apart. was hard because of all the corrosion. So we used Corrosion X, WD-40, any kind of lubricant that might knock stuff loose. Impact drivers, that was the big thing. You had to do an impact drill driver. I don't know, I'm not a tool person. They worked because they kind of vibrate it as they're twisting it, so it kind of helps with that. There were some hammers used and various swearing and drilling. Pretty bad when you're working on a project like this and your husband and your mother know more about a spud wrench, potato wrench than I do. Never heard of such a thing, but I know now. These are coming apart like today. Except for one bolt head that broke off. But Mr. Fix-It over here has got it. Making progress?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not liking it, but it'll get there.
So everything did come off. And we did that work ourselves. It saves a little bit of time, or I should say money. It didn't save time. But if you're looking to do some of this work yourself and your yard is okay with you doing that, then taking it apart yourself is good. Again, documentation. I drew out every last bit of everything. I videotaped every last bit of everything. And I still wish I would have done more. So just keep that in mind. There's never enough documentation, never enough anything, pictures to show how it comes apart. So in order for it to be painted, because there were spots that were corroded, we had to take all the paint off. So it could be painted and sealed and done all those things. We did that ourselves, which also saves some money. Being that it was in the middle of winter, a paint stripper, it's too cold for that. So that didn't really work. We tried that. Most of it was sanding, and that did work eventually, but it took a long time. We used a grinder for some of it, but you have to be really careful because aluminum is a softer metal, so don't go to town with it. You can gouge it and then it'll have to be repaired and things like that, so just be mindful when you're doing that. But we took everything apart, sanded it all down, got the aluminum to bare aluminum. Okay, so just took the shivs out. Good job. Pins in here. The pins go in here, you can see, and hold the shivs in place. It took a little bit to get them out, but the thing that worked, to grab the inside, pipe wrench, internal pipe wrench set, and then gave it to Puget Sound Composites here in Everett, and they did a great job. They painted the mast with I'd have to look at it. It's an all grip product, a bunch of different layers, different coats, all those things. So they did an amazing job. And then they allowed us, we put it all back together ourselves. So they also cut the rigging for us and did all that with the turnbuckles, put that all together. To get that ready to happen. One thing we did do is contact Pacific Seacraft in order to replace the tangs on the mast. Some of the specific things that, since we had the mast down, it was like, well, we can spend a couple $100 in stainless to get tangs and things that we'll just never be replacing again.
Here we are the morning of the crane pick to put the mast on the boat. Just going over the wiring, checking all the rigging, wiping down the mast, make sure there's no oils and residue on the mast itself.
Mom's on mom. She says don't stand under it. Okay. There she is, being the Port of Everett. Can't leave. A little nerve-wracking, but we're gonna get it.
But you were hung. seems taller than she looks. Oh wait, it's gonna go down a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm glad I asked you.
Okay, let's go see what we can do.
There's something about watching something you worked on for 6 months get hoisted into the air and put on your boat. Nerve-wracking.
The poor boat's going for demo. Poor thing.
Even though it was a very wet day in June, spirits were high. The guys from Port of Everett and our rigger, Albert, did a phenomenal job getting the mast on board and tightened down. She's gorgeous.
So in closing, what I would say is it was very exciting to take it off, put it on, do all the work on the mast. We learned a ton and a half, and we couldn't have done it without the help of my dad helped taking it off. We had the rigger down in San Diego. We had my mom help too, sanding, and Scott and I worked really hard on it. And then of course our rigger here, and there were a lot of hours put into it. So it was very exciting, but it's also very nerve-wracking to see it come off. And then your boat looks really weird without a mast. I'll say that. It just looks like an arm's missing or something. It's odd, but overall it's a good experience. It was worth doing. And you can actually do a lot of work yourself if you have the capability and kind of the time and patience to learn how to do it. So thanks for watching.
For anybody who's thinking of taking down their mast and refitting it, it's a lot of work, but it is worth it when you are done. It is absolutely, I know this mast top to bottom, inside and out, and it is wonderful to have that sense of security and knowledge. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.